Hey everyone! In this video, we're going to talk about a communicative activity called What's the Difference? When comparing and contrasting, it's easy to find the similarities, the things that are the same. However, finding the things that are not the same really makes the difference. There are lots of ways to figure out the differences between two things. You can look at them physically. What do they look like? You can try to think about their purpose. What are they for? And finally, you can think about how they make you feel. One of the best parts of a Spot the Difference exercise is that what I see in a picture, what you see in a picture, and what our students see in a picture might be totally different. We see an object and we see it from our point of view, our perspective, as a teacher, as an adult, as a man, as a father. Our students see things quite differently. They see it as a kid, as a little boy or a little girl, as a big brother or as a little sister. And the differences that they will see and the differences that I will see make the activity so much more exciting and creative. And it allows us to not only use the language in the classroom, but to learn about who our students are as people and the differences that make us and them so much alike. So listen to my ideas, listen to what I see in the pictures, and see if you can spot the differences in what you see. What's the difference between a thermometer and a clinical thermometer? Both thermometers are used for measuring the temperature. A clinical thermometer is a special kind, used to tell if a person has a fever. If you go to the hospital, a nurse checks your body temperature before the doctor examines you. If your temperature is too high or too low, you're probably sick. So as you can see, one of the best ways to approach this activity is to talk about the similarities first. State the obvious. What's the same? And then jump into the differences. What's the difference between a camera and a video camera? Both capture pictures, photographs of our lives. However, a camera captures a still picture, one moment in time, while a video camera not only captures a picture, but sound. It captures an entire moment from start to finish. What's the difference between an escalator and an elevator? Both an escalator and an elevator help you move up and down inside of a building. However, an escalator uses stairs that move diagonally up and down, whereas an escalator moves vertically up and down. An escalator can also be used to walk up and down even if it's broken, whereas an elevator cannot. What's the difference between tap water and bottled water? Obviously, both are water, but tap water has to come from one source. It doesn't move, whereas bottled water can be taken with you. You can put tap water into a bottle and make it bottled water. However, you can't buy tap water at the store. If you're thirsty, when you're outside your home, bottled water is a good option. What's the difference between cash and a credit card? Both are forms of money, and they're used to pay for things. However, cash is made up of paper or coinage, whereas credit cards are pieces of plastic that have your bank information on them. I don't like to use cash anymore. I grew up in the credit card age, and I have always used credit cards. What's the difference between a CD player and an MP3 player? Both are used to play music. However, a CD uses compact discs. It's more of an analog or mechanical form of music playing, whereas an MP3 uses a digital music file. I prefer to use MP3s because a CD only holds one album, about 10 to 15 songs, but an MP3 can hold thousands. What's the difference between a microscope and a telescope? Both a microscope and telescope are used to look at things. A microscope is used to look at very, very small things, and a telescope is used to look at things that are very, very far away. A microscope looks at things that are here on Earth, but a telescope looks at things that are far out into the universe. That's why I like telescopes better. What's the difference between skates and skis? Both skates and skis help you move around in the cold weather. Skates help you move horizontally, across the ground, across ice. But skis help you move across the mountains in the snow. I can skate and I can ski, but I've always liked skiing better because I think looking at the mountains is much better than looking at an ice rink. What's the difference between a fan and an air conditioner? Both a fan and an air conditioner are used to help you feel cooler when the weather is hot. A fan blows the air around a room, but an air conditioner not only blows the air around the room, but it cools the air first. So I've always enjoyed air conditioning more than fans. However, fans are a much cheaper alternative to air conditioning. What's the difference between ramyon and cup ramyon? Both are noodle soups that are tasty, delicious, and inexpensive. However, ramyon is more homemade. It has better quality ingredients and takes a longer time to cook. Cup ramyon is cheaper, uses a little lower quality ingredients, and cooks much more quickly. Ramyon tastes better, whereas cup ramyon is more convenient. What's the difference between a TV and a newspaper? Both are forms of entertainment. They can help you learn or just pass the time. A TV gives you information via video. So there's a picture to look at and sound to listen to. Newspaper gives you information in the written word. There are some pictures to look at, there's some puzzles to do, and maybe even some comics to enjoy. But TV is far more entertaining and stimulating. As you can see from my example, the differences between even two very similar objects are limitless. They're only limited by the student's creativity and their vocabulary. Try to remember that the objective of this type of talking or this type of speaking or this type of interaction is not so much to create a laundry list of differences, but to get them thinking, to get them speaking. So, the next time you start a class, why not start with asking about differences? You'll see that you'll be pleasantly surprised with the things they come up with. Good luck.